Good afternoon and welcome to the Celtic Way, Celtic v Hearts line-up reaction briefing. I'm Tony Haggerty at ahaggerty10 on the X or Twitter handle, and I'm delighted to be joined by Ryan McGinley at the Ryan McGinley, who's somewhere near Parkhead, I think, or should I say somewhere near Celtic Park, Parkhead's area. Celtic Park's the ground. Ryan, how are you? Big feeling
Things
about
are
today, yeah? Yeah.
really excited about today. Don't know about you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm feeling very, very good about today. Been looking forward to it all weekend, and now the day has finally come. An hour and 5 minutes until kick-off. Really looking forward to getting into the ground and sampling that atmosphere. I think it's going to be a raucous atmosphere, 60,000 fans. I think there'll be a fair contingent of Hearts fans looking to sort of not spoil the party, but spoil maybe the anticipation of what's to come. They want to put a spanner in the works. Celtic want to get within touching distance of reclaiming the league title. It's all set up to be a massive day, and I'm looking forward to it. Saturday at 3 o'clock. You can't get any better in league football, can you?
You cannot. 4 games to go. The title race continues. Celtic entertain Hearts. And and one thing we have noticed from the lineup, Ryan, is I'll pat you in the back and you can pat me in the back. And we got it spot on, didn't we? 11 out of 11, I believe.
Certainly did. Yes, and I completely forgot to click it at the start of the video. That was the one thing that we were forgetting. We've got about 5 things that we need to tick off, and we forgot one of them, and that was the team. Probably the most important thing. Yeah, if I can go through the team very quickly.
Yeah, on you go.
So Joe Hart starts and goals, back 4, as we expect. This is 11 out of 11 for Tony and myself. We both predicted this. Greg Taylor, Liam Scales, Cameron Carter-Vickers and Alistair Johnson left to right. Cal McGregor starts in the midfield alongside Rio Hatate and Matt O'Reilly. James Forrest starts on the left wing, Nicholas Kuhn on the right wing, and Kyogo up front. The subs for this afternoon are Scott Bain, Lewis Palmer, Adam Maeda, Hyunjin Yang, Mike Nawrowski, Tomoki Iwata, Paulo Bernardo, Dyson Maeda, and Tony Ralston. Strong team, 11 out of 11. I think before we discuss the team, I'll go in and do the sponsors ever so quickly.
Of course.
We do thank MPH Boilers and Weissman for sponsoring today's video, as they do for all of our videos. MPH Group are thrilled to have Weissman, our global leader in the boiler industry, known for their top-notch German engineering, sponsor our podcast. And what's more exciting, they've teamed up with Scotland's very own award-winning installation team, MPH Boilers, making this a perfect match right here in Scotland. Weissman's boilers are engineered to deliver not just warmth, but unparalleled efficiency and reliability. We're talking about cutting-edge technology that's designed to save you on energy bills and reduce emissions. And with MPH Boilers, you're getting service from the best in the business, a local team that's committed to excellence and customer satisfaction. As part of this incredible partnership, when you choose a Weissman boiler installed by MPH Boilers, you'll also get a free internet controller, making it a breeze to manage your heating anytime, anywhere. Plus, they're offering the first year service free. It's all about giving you peace of mind and making sure that you're looked after. So if your boiler's showing its age or you're considering an upgrade, this is your chance to get world-class engineering with local expert service. Weissman and MPH Boilers, it's a match made in Scotland. Make sure to check them out and take the first step towards a warmer, more efficient home. And let me just bring up the offer that we're still doing, and we thank everybody that's joined us thus far. 6 months of access for £1 plus a free Kyogo Furuhashi print from renowned football artist made by Frankie. The first 250 of those have reached the customers that have paid that money for the subscription, so we hope you enjoyed that free print. For those that haven't joined us as of yet, we'll have instant analysis as well as player ratings from the game this afternoon, as close to full time as we can get. I was going to say weather permitting, but typing permitting probably, and technology permitting too. www.celticway.co.uk/subscribe. Join us on the Celtic Way and get your free Kyogo Furuhashi print for just £1 for 6 months.
William McCluskey has joined us, clearly got his Kyogo print today, cracking. Thanks for that, William, and thanks to everybody that subscribed. We really appreciate it. As Ryan said yesterday, we're approaching another milestone number, which we hoped was achievable, but now is within reach. So we really do appreciate it, the love out there for us. Thank you so much. Ryan, the team, as predicted, Maeda, we reckon will come on and play some part at some point before next week's game. James Forrest in on merit. Scales celebrating his new 4-year deal. And McGregor, hopefully, as the manager alluded to yesterday, could be approaching, he hopes, his best because they've been working on him. So lots of subplots going on in that team, Ryan.
Yeah, but I'm delighted to see that it's a very much a settled team at this point in the season. You don't want to be switching out players and putting in different players at this time. You need consistency. You need that galvanisation. Who had 5 minutes and 4 seconds for me to mention galvanisation and galvanise, and that seems to be my new catchphrase. It's good to see that the team is largely the same, that they're not really upsetting the apple cart too much with regard to starting lineups. I'm delighted to see a lot of the usual suspects appear, the likes of Cal McGregor. I know Tomoki Iwata would probably feel a wee bit aggrieved that he hasn't been starting games, but he's got a part to play in this game. He'll come on after 60, 70 minutes. He'll have to close out the game, and finishing the game is just as important as starting it well. So he needs to know that he is a valued member of this team, and he'll have a big job to do in the second half when Cal McGregor's race has been run. For me, and I know I'm a bit biased because he's personally my favourite player to watch in this team. I think these are the games that Rio Hatate comes alive, and these are the games that he looks forward to as a Celtic player this week and next week against Rangers. He's a big game player. He stands up and he's counted for in these big games more often than not. I think if Celtic are going to have joy this afternoon, it will come from that position and the position just in front of him and Matt O'Reilly. Those two are going to be absolutely key to everything positive about Celtic this afternoon. And you're hoping that if the two of them are singing from the same hymn sheet and are together in their performance, then Celtic shouldn't have any problems this afternoon. If all 11 men players play to the way that they know they can play, there's only going to be one winner today. So if they can do that, then I'm not too concerned about what happens in the 90 minutes, because we know how good this team can be. It's when they don't go to their usual 100% is when problems start to arise. Remember sitting here 5-6 months ago, not 5-6 months ago, it would be 4 or 5 months ago, round about that time, coming up against Hearts at home
December.
in this exact same December, in this exact same car parking space, and the trepidation was there, and they get found out. We're hoping that now that Carter Vickers is in the team, that Cal McGregor's in the team, Rio Hatate, Matt O'Reilly, Kyogo Furuhashi, all these players will be singing from the same hymn sheet and get on the score sheet and get good performances as well, and get those 3 points. 3 points is all that matters today. A good performance would be a bonus, but 3 points is all that matters.
Over 250 people joining us live. Ryan Stuart Bonner comes in, protecting Maeda. Good decision. Anthony Aitken saying, "Calm before the storm." Hi guys, how we all doing? Francis Lester, he's outside the main stand, Ryan, and the atmosphere is building, he's saying. And Brian McGarry saying the whole ground have a responsibility to push the team to victory. Come on, the boys in green, get into Hearts and show them no mercy on and off the park. Lots of people having their say, so we thank you for that, guys. Tremendous stuff. And Stephen Kennedy coming in saying, has Ryan's team predictions ever been right? You got 11 out of 11 today, Stephen? He's had it a few times alongside myself. And Stephen Kennedy come back in saying Liam Scales will shut the haters by scoring, he reckons. And Brown Warrior, regular contributor, thank you, Brown Warrior. Kyogo's due a goal or two, he thinks, Ryan. And
Agreed.
Lee Snedden coming in, I'm on the hoops, out of the starting block, sharpish today. And Dennis Jameson, another regular contributor. How you doing, Dennis? How are you? I agree, Kyogo's due a goal or two. So, yeah, lots of optimism abounding. Ryan, what's happening? What do you think?
Very confident about this afternoon. Now, I know these are famous last words, and you can go in and something completely different can happen. Players can maybe play, out with their usual good form, and they can produce a bad performance. But from the way things are standing at the moment, Celtic have got all the momentum in both this game and in the title race. They play first. That scoreboard advantage, that scoreboard pressure that Brendan Rodgers was talking about yesterday, you're hoping that Celtic can put that on Rangers. A decimated Rangers team with injuries at this moment in time, got to put the pressure on. They've got to be feeling the heat a bit. Yep. And Celtic can only do that by winning games. They can't give them any avenue to get back into this title race. Celtic were so far in front early on in the season. They allowed Rangers to claw back. Rangers have stumbled in recent weeks, games against Ross County and Dundee. Celtic are now back in the driving seat. It's about time they drive to the finish line and get this sorted. No chances for Rangers to get back in. They've got their foot on the pedal, and they need to just go to the finish line. They just need to do the business today, and then worry about next week, or worry about tomorrow. Watch the game with the confidence, knowing that regardless of if Rangers win, Celtic will still be 3 points clear. No damage is done. Can't give any other team any more opportunities to get back into this. Celtic have just got to go and do the business today.
What I'm looking forward to I'm always safe when Cameron Carter-Vickers is there, but I think Scales might play with a swagger today with his new deal and just knuckle down and get the job done. Hatate, you're also seen coming back into it a lot. You know, lots of people had a go at him last week at Dens Park, but I thought when he flitted in, he showed some flashes of excellence. McGregor, I'm hoping to see a different McGregor, as the manager's been talking about. And O'Reilly as well. He'll be buoyed by the PFA Scotland Player of the Year nomination. I think he'll be puff the shoulders out and say, right, come on, let's have it, show you why I'm a nominee. James Forrest is just, riding the crest of a wave at the minute. And as people are saying, Kyogo's maybe due a goal. He seems to like scoring at home, Kyogo, doesn't he? So that's I'm hoping to see that as well. And hopefully Kuhn can be lifted by the crowd and produce another one of those performances that he's produced in front of the supporters, the home supporters at times this season. So, there's lots of things there, Ryan, that I'm very, very positive about in that team. And obviously, Alistair Johnston's hit a bit of form as well. So it's all good for me. It's all positive for me, Ryan.
Yeah, I'm very positive about this game as well. Obviously, as I said before, it's famous last words, but at this point, about 55 minutes before the game starts, I'm feeling in a very buoyant mood, very positive. The team is what we expected it to be, but it's still good to get that 11 out of 11 recognition. It shows that you do know what you're talking about sometimes, at least. The both of us, 11 out of 11, it's not too bad. I just think all the success will come from the midfield today. The midfield and the wide areas. Kyogo will put away chances if he's given a good chance in front of goal. It's all about the service that he gets from his midfielders and his wingers. Hatate and Kyogo are definitely on the same wavelength. We've seen that a couple of times already, even this season, with some of the movements that they've been making together. Forrest, he's a veteran now. It's weird calling James Forrest a veteran, but he certainly is that. He's been in this position. He's been in any sort of position at Celtic. He's been through the good times and some of the bad times that he's shared, maybe earlier on in his career and in the COVID season. I know he was injured for large parts of that, but he's been about. He knows what to do and he knows what's expected at this level, at this time of the year. I don't think that can be understated. I think that's maybe one of the reasons why Forrest is in the team ahead of Palmer. He's been in this position before. He's trusted by Brendan Rodgers. Not to say that Palmer isn't trusted, but maybe there's a bit of doubt whenever he's got his late on in a game when he needs to pass the ball to someone and instead he's taking shots from afar. I don't think you'll get that from James Forrest if he is on the park that long. He knows that he's a safe pair of hands and feet on the pitch, and he'll do what Brendan Rodgers asks him to do, is basically what I'm trying to say, long story short. But no complaints about the starting lineup. I think that's a team that can do the job and do it convincingly today. And you're just hoping that Celtic come out like a house on fire, to be honest.
Yes, very much. Can't be telling everybody we've got 11 out of 11, Ryan. People thinking we know what we're talking about. What will they moan about, Ryan, if we think we know what we're talking about? Come on. Anyway, I say that in jest, guys. You know that very much so. But just delighted that as I put out a tweet earlier saying I'm sure Brendan Rodgers is a secret Celtic Way subscriber, so hopefully that's true. Probably not, but hey, wishful thinking on our part. But yes, I woke up this morning, Ryan, and it's a big game, and I don't get nervous too much, but there was a hint of butterflies in the stomach, thinking, how crucial this game is, and it is massive, and you can set yourself up wonderfully for next week by getting all 3 points, and that to me is a team that's very capable of going out there and producing and performing. And I look at the substitutes bench as well, and I'm buoyed by the fact that Maeda's back in the squad and he will play some part, and other people that can come on, like Palmer as well. He just sort of has to look around and see the rest of the guys knuckling down and being team players and perform if he gets the nod to come on and be a team player, Ryan. Basically, that's what we're asking everybody to be in it together today. I can't wait to hear the atmosphere as well. You'll be sampling it too, but Celtic supporters got a huge part to play today in roaring them over the line.
Without a doubt, the 12th man, it's very cliched to say, but they really are. They are the difference. And we did see that 3-4 years ago when there was no fans in the ground, how much Celtic struggled without them. Although they haven't really struggled in recent times with no fans at Ibrox in some games, so it shows you it can work both ways. But I think it'll be a massive boost to have near enough 60,000 fans in the stadium. About 50, what would you guess, 55, 56 of them, 56,000 of them will be Celtic fans. They will be making a lot of noise. this afternoon, and they'll be roaring them on. I think they'll know how important this game is. I put out a tweet earlier on today talking about I didn't want to understate how massive this game was today, but it is. It's incredibly massive. These are the games that are going to be the deciders between Celtic winning the league and not. And I had a lot of people agreeing with me, which was great. They were feeling nervous when they got up this morning. They felt the sort of not that it's a derby or anything, but the rivalry between Hearts. Celtic v Hearts is always a rivalry whenever the two teams play, whether that's at Tynecastle or at Celtic Park. That's just the way it is. I think there's an extra fire to it, and that's good. And Celtic need this. I think if they were playing a team, but maybe one of the lesser teams in the league, then maybe there wouldn't be as big an atmosphere. There still would be, but the fact that it's Hearts, the fact that Hearts have beat Celtic twice already, means that there'll be an added bit of not bite but atmosphere to the occasion, and I think that'll be so important for today. Just hoping that Celtic can channel that from off the park to on the park and use that as an extra bit of motivation to get the victory today.
Speaking of bite, I think my dogs are feeling the attention as well, Ryan. The atmosphere, the big game atmos, as you can hear. But yes, there we go. Now, got a few predictions coming in, so I'll read a few of them out. First of all, Sunder Scotland saying, how you doing, Sunder Scotland? Another regular contributor. Quick start, early goal, then play the Celtic way and get the job done. Totally. And Maestro 95, get this over the line today and Celtic are set. And Jim Dolan, I think he's talking about Kyogo and saying he thinks it's due, but he's going 3-1 Celtic. 420 somewhere saying 3-0. And Thomas McBearty saying all guns blazing from the start and about them exactly. And 1888 CFC saying 3-0, come on Celtic into them. And Franny Weldon just saying hello to yourself and myself, Ryan. How you doing, Franny? You all right? And let's do this, Celtic, he's saying. So, yeah, lots of confident people out there, Ryan, with their scoreline predictions. Celtic 67, a wee bit closer, 2-1. And Stevie Kennedy saying 4-1 Celtic and Kuhn, the first goal scorer. And Kieran coming in and saying just win today and it'll be a massive boost for next week. Excellent, Ryan. What Davey's saying, don't care if it's 4-0 or 1-0, 3 points is all that matters. That's exactly all that matters, just a win, isn't it?
Yep, that's it. And specific players are going to be key to that, either from keeping the ball out of the back of the net and the back line or making chances on the front. I look at Nicholas Kuhn. I think it's going to be a massive game for him today as well, the more I think about it. This could be a real game to announce yourself once again, because he's had good appearances here or there. We need a standout game, don't we? We need a standout game in 90 minutes, as close to 90 minutes as possible. I remember Patrick Roberts coming to the fore, and I'm not just saying that because they look similar and they've got the same haircut, but remember Patrick Roberts coming to the fore against Aberdeen at home in a big game and a sort of title decider. I'm hoping that can be the same today for Nicholas Kuhn. The only difference being he's a permanent signing. Paddy Roberts was a loan signing, but we won't go back into that heartbreak once again. I think it's a big day for him. You know what you're going to get with James Forrest. With Kuhn, it's a bit more unpredictable, but he's been threatening scoring a goal from a bit of range for a few weeks now with some of his shots. It's about time he puts it all together and gets a goal. I think it will be him against, let me think, it'll be Limbasaka, is it, or Limbasoka? Dexter Limbasoka, the opposite fullback. So that'll be an interesting battle. He's been a pretty good player for Hearts since they signed him. So I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully he can get to the byline or he can go one-on-one against his fullback and really cause havoc, because we know 1v1, that's what he wants.
Yes,
he's
good at that.
If he gets the beating of his man very early on, then I think he could have a fun afternoon on that right-hand side for Celtic. But if it doesn't happen the first time, I don't want him to be down on himself. Keep on doing it. Go again and again and again. You'll get joy if you keep on persevering with it. He's a good player. I think he just needs told that he's a good player.
I think that's what happened last week. He got a bit of joy in the opening 10 minutes and then just completely and utterly faded, didn't he, Ryan, from the game, which I was pretty disappointed with. But, it is a big game for him, as you say. We need a standout game from him. Craig Monroe, 2-0 Celtic, he's saying. Colin Stewart, just win. That's just been my mantra for the past few weeks, Collins. AR, fans must be patient today, 100% back, and we've spoken about that during the week. Big part to play. Maestro 95, big scales to get a goal, a near post header. Kenny McLeod saying Celtic to win 3-1 and Sunder Scotland 3 points. That will make your 4-hour drive back home much easier. So Here's hoping Celtic can deliver. And Craig Ryan can win at all costs, but it would be grand to see a swashbuckling attacking display the Celtic way 4-0. I'd love to see that myself, make it easy on themselves today. I think everybody would love that, wouldn't they, Ryan? A swashbuckling, rip-roaring, free-scoring, never-boring Celtic type of performance and blow them away and even put some goals onto that goal difference as well.
Without a doubt, and I'm just having a wee look at Hearts' team that Celtic have just tweeted out a couple of minutes ago, or a couple of seconds ago rather. The danger men that Celtic have got to face is definitely Lawrence Shankland. That's one of the players. He is a goal threat. You give him service, he'll more than likely score a goal. It's Lembikisa that'll be up against Nicholas Kuhn, so that's going to be an interesting battle between those two players. But you know what you're going to get from players like Cammy Devlin. Cochrane's been about this fixture for a few years now. Benny Beningame in the midfield. That's going to be an interesting battle. Celtic have got to win the midfield battle. If they can do that, then they'll be well on their way to winning the 3 points. But the midfield's going to be important, especially in the second half. If Hearts get a second wind and maybe they sense that Celtic are tired, especially in Callum McGregor's case. If Callum McGregor is leggy at all at any moment in this game, he's got to be taken off. And Tomoki Iwata has got to be brought on. I think they'll time it in the 60, 70 minutes and then they'll maybe bring on Daisen Maeda and Tomoki Iwata to shore up and provide a different threat on the wing. But they've got to time it perfectly. You know, I don't want to get in any worrying about like I did the last time. You know, that 6 subs against was it St Mirren was wild. Thankfully, that was checked and verified very, very quickly that Celtic hadn't brought on an ineligible player, and they would have lost their 3 points, especially for the result that Ross County got against Rangers just 24 hours later. But there's danger men in Hearts' team. You know, they're third place for a reason. I know they've had a bit of up and down results, especially against Rangers, you would say, or mostly down results against Rangers. They've had better luck against Celtic, but they're third place for a reason. They've got dangers all over the park. Got to keep Shankland quiet. Keep Shankland quiet, he won't be scoring goals, and he's their main goal getter. So if you can keep Shankland quiet, you keep Hearts quiet as a result.
Correct. And still got lots of people coming in having their say what they think the score will be. Alan Swinton coming in, 3-1 Celtic, take that. Hazel, regular contributor, how you doing? Hazel, afternoon all. Hatati to score first. Excellent, I take that too. And Loopy 33 saying goal difference is very relevant given the even game points difference. It certainly is. And so if we just take Celtic to win, but if they can add to their goal difference, all the better, Ryan. JM coming in, 4-1, he's saying, so there you go. So stop the supply, Maestro 95, I think he's talking about supply to Shankland.
Absolutely.
You were talking about 2 minutes. If you stop the supply, you stop Hearts from playing, don't you? So we shall see. And Hazel Finn, 3-1 Celtic, and may the 4th be with us, she's saying. May the 4th today, Ryan, you know the significance of all of that. So
I do.
Yes, all that kind of Star Wars references, yes, indeed. So, we need a couple of Celtics players to perform like Jedi Knights and just take it to Hearts. But I feel, as I say, I woke up this morning, slight butterflies, but the more I'm looking at that team and the more I'm thinking about just everything I've been banging on about it all week, this is the game the manager wanted. It's a game the players need. It's a game the fans need as well. And I just think Celtic will turn up and do the business. 420 somewhere saying 3-0. Excellent. So, I'll take that. Lots of 3-0s, Ryan. Sort of 3-1s as well. Kind of buzzing around. Are you going to give us your prediction?
I will. Yeah, quite happily. And you can go up or down one with this. I'm going to go 3-0. You know, you've got to respect the opponents that Celtic are playing today and the position that they're in the league table. It doesn't lie. They've been a good team, a good outfit this season. Stephen Naismith has done really well, actually, I think, to turn it round, because there was doubts the early part of the season if he was cut out for the job. But I don't think there's any doubts about that now, or if they are, then it's a bit harsh in my opinion. Still, I think Celtic will be up for this. They know that the end is in sight. They can't look towards the end. They've got to take it one game at a time, obviously. But the end is in sight. They know what is coming. They know what will come if they win all their remaining games. I think Celtic will be up for this. I'm going for 3-0. I can't see Hatati not scoring in this game. It's his sort of game.
Well, before I came on the show, I was going to say 3-0 as well. So normally I go 1 up or 1 down, but I fancy 3-0 too. So we will snap on that one, young man. Leanne Booth
Fine
comes
by
in
me.
and says 5-0 to Celtic. I love that. Maestro 95 saying 3-1. Edward Y of Oz 2-1 Celtic. JK27 3-0 to the champions. Jim Irvin, it'll be a nervous 2-1. And Leanne was come back in and saying it'll be 3-0 at half time. And Natalie McMullen saying it'll be James Forrest for the first goal, she's saying. So there we have it. So
I think you'll know very, very quickly if Celtic are up for it. You'll know in the first 5 minutes by the way that they start. I want to see that pressing game right from the off. There's been a couple of instances, more so under Ange Postecoglou than Brendan Rodgers in recent history, but you know when Celtic are at it by their pressing and what they do, especially at home. You notice it a lot at home. If they can press the opposition and really force them into making unforced errors, you know, if they maybe pass it out for a throw or pass it out or clear it for a corner, you know that Celtic are in their heads and they've got the one up on them. Make it uncomfortable. You know, Hearts, Tynecastle was uncomfortable for Celtic once they got that sending off. Hearts made it uncomfortable. Yes, Celtic didn't play very well, but Hearts made it uncomfortable for their visitors. It's time for Celtic to exact some revenge and make it uncomfortable for Hearts. You know, they'll be playing with no fear because they know roughly where they're going to be finishing in the season. I think they only need a point to secure third place. Time to make it uncomfortable for them and really rack up the goals, but rack up the goal difference as well. Put some pressure on ahead of tomorrow.
Yeah. Maestro 95, full focus on the champions. It very much is. It's all about what Celtic do. Full of carry on, must win by any means necessary. Correct. And Natalie McMullen, hi Natalie, how you doing? 4-1 Celtic, she's saying. And Stevie Boy saying Matteo with a placed colour. I think he's taking him for the first goal or just a colour in general. Patrick McCauley saying it has to be 4-1 Celtic need the goals. And Leanne Booth coming back and saying an early goal will settle any nerves. Would settle your nerves, Ryan, if they get an early goal?
No, I think they need about 3 goals before that's the case, if I'm being perfectly honest. Just a wee quick side note about Matt O'Reilly that I wanted to bring up, and I was quite delighted to see this yesterday. Now, there was a post on Twitter, or X as people like to call it nowadays, post on X about what Matt O'Reilly does in his free time, and he goes and volunteers as a gamer for young children in Glasgow hospitals and these families and these children are going through the worst times, and for Matt O'Reilly to do something that he doesn't need to do, he takes out of his own time. It's not as if the rest of the team go there as like a contracted obligation to help the charity. He goes there in his own time to go and play video games with children when they're in hospital. I think that's a measure of the man, and it shows just how classy he is off the park as well as how classy he is on the park. It's good that he's symmetrical in that regard, and I was delighted to see that yesterday, and I didn't want to leave that. I didn't want to leave that unspoken about. I felt like it deserved to be spoken about.
What it says to me is, Ryan, it makes you proud to be associated with Celtic because that's the finest representation of Celtic on and off the park. You are representing this wonderful football club everywhere you go, and Matt O'Reilly is a fantastic example of that. And as you say that, I think that sums him up as a human being, as a person, just someone in general. And to do that, I just think big up to him, and I hope he enjoys playing the kids at the games, and I hope he gets scudded by the kids at the games. I hope they give him a lesson. I hope that's the only time he ends up losing. But I just think big up to Matt O'Reilly, because you say these are the unseen things that football players do. Sometimes they don't like it publicised, but it was put out widely on social media yesterday, so you have to big him up for that and say well done to Matt O'Reilly. And it makes you proud to be a Celtic supporter when you see players representing the club in the truest fashion, and they are the custodians of the club, and you applaud that warmly, don't you? Because they're doing everything that you think is befitting of a man who pulls that strip over his head and representing you in the best possible fashion and form. So I love that from Matt O'Reilly. I love the fact that it was put out on social media for lots of people to see. I don't know if Matt O'Reilly would have liked that, but he's a very humble guy and he's well spoken. We've sat in front of him before. You know what he's like. He's very open and honest about stuff. So I think that's wonderful, and I hope the kids enjoy someone like Matt O'Reilly entering their lives, and I hope the parents enjoy that and gives them some kind of comfort and solace in times where, you know, there's kids that are, you know, pretty ill, and as you say, going through the worst of times, and hopefully that kind of spreads some light and gives them some cheer in dark times in their life. So yeah, big up to him for that.
Yeah, and I didn't want to leave that unspoken about. I felt like it was necessary.
Yeah.
And if there's positive karma, then he'd be the goal scorer today, because he doesn't do it for social media. He doesn't do it for interactions or tweets or likes or retweets or whatever. He does it because of the goodness of the person. And he's the same in press conferences. He's the same with absolutely everybody. The many times I've spoke to him on a couple of Zoom calls as well as in post-match press conferences. That is what you see is what you get with Matt O'Reilly, and I'm hoping that he can have a good performance, because he certainly had a good performance off the park in recent days.
Indeed, and I think that's a kind of fitting way to end the briefing, Ryan. I'll let you go and get yourself up to Celtic Park and sample that atmosphere. We'll be back, guys, some point after the game to dissect it all. Look out for the instant analysis from myself and Ryan doing the man-by-mans. There'll be a Q&A up from Brendan Rodgers, whoever he speaks to broadcast-wise, and that they'll all be on the website after. But we'll be reconvening, and I'm just looking at the numbers. They're just short of 600 people joining us in the pre-match broadcast. That's amazing, guys. Thank you so much. I always say it, it's result dependent, but if you can, enjoy it. I know your nerves will be put through the ringer. I can see Ryan there as well. His nerves are gone. He's just... But hey, we all deal with it differently, don't we? But just win, Ryan. Just win. Bottom line, isn't it?
Just win. 3 points. 3 points is the minimum today. Just win. Keep on winning, and you'll get to where you need to be.
If you're at the game, guys, enjoy. Roll the team over the line. We'll see you all soon. Ryan, thank you. Stella, as always, my good friend. And I'll see you soon.
Cheers, guys. See you after the game. Enjoy.